Hello everyone and welcome to FLOSS, our course on open source and the software industry. My name is Dirk Riele. I'm the lecturer for this course and also the professor who created the course. You're probably all familiar with open source software. Mostly or to most, it's simply good software that is available free of charge, so you can just use it, take it from the web and use it. There is a second aspect to it, which means that it's collaboratively developed software, so there is an open process where, at least in theory, everyone can contribute. These are the two key dimensions of open source software, and we will look at this definition later. It's a remarkable phenomenon because it's quite different from what we usually see or what we are used to or have been used to during the time before open source software took a hold. Specifically, you probably perceive a contradiction between closed source software developed by a company behind closed doors and open source software developed by a community openly. Because of these two dimensions that I mentioned, the license or free availability and the open or closed process, there's a lot of variation actually in how open source takes place, and in this course we will look at it. The course topics are pretty broad because open source is broad. Only about half of this course, if you will, relates to engineering or computer science topics. At least half of it actually also relates to economics and business models of open source. As we will see later, open source has become or is a sustainable phenomenon because of these well-working business models that fund the development of open source software. So in this course, we will look first at the basics, at the history of open source, intellectual property, project communities and engineering processes, some of the innovations that open source brought, then how companies are using open source and how they should be using open source and how they might be contributing to it. And in the second half, after an introduction to how the software industry works, we will look at the different business models, patterns of business models, if you will, that have made open source sustainable. And usually of great interest and also quite fun to me, at the end we will look at how open source software is changing the career of software developers. That's what's hiding behind the small innocuous label of labor economics here. What does it mean for you as a software developer? Okay, students in this course will gain a conceptual understanding of how the software industry works, the role of open source software in there, how these open source software projects work and how it's all interacting. As part of the exercises, we will perform small tasks on each of these topics. In a way, this is a classic lecture plus exercise. Coming into this course, you don't need any particular skills or requirements beyond strong conceptual thinking. I do have to warn the computer science students among you though. There will be a fair bit of economic thinking and arguments involved, so I hope you're not afraid of that. It's possible to pass this course and pass it well without an economics background, but you may have to stretch yourself a bit for that. FLOSS is part of our overall curriculum. Our teaching caters to computer science and information systems students. As you can see here, FLOSS strongly relates to the lane marked as product development, so it's aligned with software product management, our course on how to perform product management to get products to market, and it runs in parallel to the key software engineering threads where we teach teamwork, where we teach agile methods using team projects, as well as advanced concepts of software development, at present continuous delivery. FLOSS is pretty simple. There's exactly one course, the lecture and exercise you're participating in right now, and that is also the module for the way how this course can be taken as a module. And the total credit points you can acquire are 5 ECTS. There's not much choice here. The grades for this course are computed according to this scheme here. The lecture is free for you to attend or not to attend. We'll try to make it all available on video. But you do have to participate in the homework exercises, or in the exercises where we discuss the homework. Grading of your participation there is measured using a simple scheme of a value of 0, 1, 2, or 3. The 0 means you didn't show up, 1 means you were there but you didn't really do anything, 2 means you participated as expected, saying or contributing something of interest, and 3 means somehow you blew us out of the water by remarkable insight, something very interesting. In addition to the exercise participation, there's actually the homework to perform and hand in each week. These assignments make up the largest part of your course grade, and they consist of you doing the homework, but also to a quarter of reviewing and providing feedback to other students' homework. How to do that, I will explain in a second. Active participation in exercises means exactly this, showing up, listening, thinking out loud in the sense of a measured contribution, and possibly a particularly smart contribution, but not too many. Nobody wants people who keep talking all the time, and the way we handle and manage class should make sure that people don't talk too much. You will get called upon maybe once or twice during an exercise session. The benefit or the beauty of this is no written or oral exam. Once the course is over, you're done, and that's it. English is our main language, as you can see. If you want to ask a question, you can ask in English or German. Both is fine. I will probably answer in English. The homework, because of the international nature of this course, should be written in English, because your fellow students will get to see your homework submissions and provide feedback for it. While in theory students are expected to be fluent in German or on a university level, reality is that this is just not the case. So if you submit something in German, you may not be treated well by those who don't speak German as well as you do. You can reach us by email using the OSS-FLOSS alias. Any announcements will be made through the course management system, and any questions you might ask, use the email, or preferably first go through the forum, because students are often very good at helping each other faster than the teaching assistant or myself can do. All relevant information is available through the course index, which you can see here. From the course index, you'll get to the course schedule, the homework assignment, submission links, the course reader, and all other relevant materials. The course index is not only shown here, but also linked to from our course management site in the top in the root directory, easy to find. That's it for now. In general, I like it interactive, so feel free to raise your hands at any point of time and ask your questions. And so for now, I will stop here. Please ask any questions you may have, and after that we'll continue with the next slide deck.